Merry Christmas to all of you out there celebrating the holiday. May you enjoy it today with your family and friends, and may this upcoming new year be a profitable and prosperous one for you all. As far as I'm concerned, our family, the night before Christmas, we always sit down and watch the Charlie Brown Christmas special. Listen, we can recite the lines, okay? But it's just one of those things. And we'll watch a couple of others as well. And I'm sure many of you out there share in that same experience with your family. Although many of you actually yesterday unwittingly happened to watch a Christmas special earlier in the day, and I'm calling that one How the Grinch Stole Christmas. And what I'm referring to is any of you that had Western Kentucky yesterday, -3.5, yes, that was how the Grinch stole Christmas. As gamblers, we all have our war stories. It's like people put a group of gamblers together in the room, and it's like, patients comparing their scars. Everybody's got that story of how they had an improbable win. Everybody had that story of how they suffered an agonizing loss. But you tell me, because I've been doing this for 20 some years, I have never seen a game decided that way. I have lost games on guys hitting like 94-foot shots. I have lost games where teams have blown 30-point leads. I lost a game years ago where it was later proven that there were some point shaving shenanigans going on. So I have lost games and I have won games in bizarre fashions as well. But I have never seen a game like that Western Kentucky game yesterday. And if you haven't seen the final play with 1 second left, the Hail Mary and the ensuing craziness, you owe it to yourself, guys, to look it up immediately after watching my video, to go and check it out on ESPN or on YouTube or whatever. You got to find it. It's just the most stunning thing. And by the way, props to the Central Michigan coach. I mean, your team comes down, you score with 1 minute and 4 seconds to go. You score on the wildest play I've ever seen with 1 second to go. You go for the 2-point conversion. Oh, you could have kicked the extra point. You could have gone that way and played for overtime, but you were down 49-14 and you come back in such an improbable fashion. Props to him because he had the balls to go for the win. And you got to admire that in a coach, especially when your team was just hammered for all but maybe 1/4 of that game. Great game. And that's the interesting thing about bowl games. You have all these weird matchups. Some of them are boring and mundane, like the Rice game. Hey, listen, I won money on Rice last night, so it wasn't that boring, but it was a pretty boring game against Fresno State. But then you get those games like Memphis and BYU, the double overtime win on Monday. Then you get a game like yesterday, Western Kentucky and Central Michigan. Those two games will probably have more excitement than anything you're going to see when Ohio State takes on Alabama. Ooh, all those Columbus fans and Tuscaloosa fans, did I just piss you off too? Oh, well. Hey, let's get to it today. Listen, it's a limited card. There's no football today, but there's certainly some interesting basketball games. I'm going to give you two free selections in hoops here in just a moment. Let's talk about a couple of the guys that have big plays. Shawn Michaels, just his second NBA play of the entire season. His first one was a 50-dime release on the Suns by 20 over the Lakers on opening night. Well, today, 100-dime max wager, and these are the same 100-dime plays in which he is 56, 29, and 3 within the NFL over the past 6 years combined. 100-dime TV showdown of the year, Cavaliers and Heat. Yeah, that LeBron guy's going back to Miami in that game. Interesting contest. Save $65 as he goes for winning day number 128 out of 216. The coupon code is Sean for a guy who has made $10 bettors over $23,000 the past 20 months. How about Anthony Red? Another winner yesterday you got for $22. That was Rice. Of course, you got his 100-dime NFL Underdog Shocker of the Year on Sunday for $22, saving $77 off the regular price. The Atlanta Falcons, a 6-point dog, outright by double digits at New Orleans. Today, he's going for winning day number 7 in a row and 10 out of 13. 50-dime NBA winner number 2 in a row. Warriors and Clippers, his last 50-dimer in the NBA. That was the Utah Jazz, a 4-point dog outright at the Orlando Magic by 7 points on Friday night. And again, you save $77 and get the play for $22 by using coupon code NBA22. NBA22. I've got no opinion on the Warriors-Clippers game. I think it'll be an interesting thing to watch here tonight. The two free picks that I want to give you here after, let's see, I have to even look up my own record. 27-16 roll with the complimentary plays. The first one, I'm going to lay the points with Chicago minus the 10.5 at home against the Lakers. Listen, um, I said it at the time when Paul Gasol was signed as a free agent by the Bulls. I thought it was the best free agent acquisition that any team could possibly make, other than that LeBron guy going back to Cleveland. And he has proven to be invaluable for the Bulls. 18 points and a career high 11.4 rebounds a game. The Bulls are playing well. They've won 7 of their last 8. Derrick Rose, seemingly healthy, seemingly in the groove here. Last 6 games that he's played, he's averaged almost 23 points a game and hit about 51% of his shots. As I said, the Bulls have won 7 of their last 8. I could care less that Kobe sat out the other night and the Lakers managed to pull the huge upset of the Warriors. I think they got caught looking ahead perhaps to this big showdown on Christmas Day with the Clippers. I think Chicago just has too much depth, too much strength along the front line, and I think the Bulls will be able to win this one rather comfortably. I wouldn't be surprised if this is like a 17 to 20 point win for Chicago in this game. The other game is San Antonio against Oklahoma City. Listen, Kevin Durant's not playing today, okay? So you got a problem there because he's missed the last 3 games. The Thunder have lost 2 of those 3 games. They are 6-14 in the games he has missed this season. Problem is, on the surface, it would seem like the Spurs will be the lock of all locks. But you have 2 issues here. One is an injury concern. Kawhi Leonard is still out. They are not the same team without Leonard in there. The other thing is, I always have such trepidation about betting the Spurs because I never know when Greg Popovich is going to get that bug up as you know what and say, oh, I think I'm going to give Manu and Timmy and Tony off today. And suddenly you're left holding the bag because it's not like you can go back to your booking and say, oh, can I have that bet back, please? Greg Popovich decided to rest half his team. So, if everybody but Leonard plays today, I'm willing to go with the Spurs minus the 5 points. But how can you bet on that game not knowing for sure? I mean, you just don't know. Listen, the Spurs last game when they just snapped the 4-game losing streak with the win against Clippers, I think was the other night. Tony Parker wasn't supposed to play in that game, and he had a monstrous game. So you had the opposite effect. Again, you just don't know. Last year, of course, the Thunder swept the regular season 4-0, only to see the Spurs take the playoff series 4-2. Again, if all things were being equal, and I had that psychic ability to read Greg Popovich's mind, wouldn't that be an interesting read? I would go with the Spurs. But again, I think the better of the 2 free picks would be the Chicago Bulls. Best of luck to you guys. Enjoy the holiday with your family and friends, and I'll catch you again on Friday when we do this one more time.